Hello, I'm Mimi, and in my last video I shared how much my business earns as a self-employed artist and content creator, and today I'm going to show you how much I work on my business in a month to earn my income and how I try to balance everything. So let's go back to the start of September, and we rented an Airbnb in beautiful South Wales for the month, and this will be my base to work from since we're sort of slow travelling our way around the UK at the moment. Home sweet home! How nice! I have certain things that I make each month to maintain my regular content schedule, and that's mostly one video per week for YouTube, at least one post per week for Instagram, and all of my Patreon benefits, which I can go into in a minute. Beyond that, I usually have an extra project on the go, and that's either a children's picture book or a new product that I'm making for the business. This month I really want to finish my first small video course, which will be a class on Skillshare. I already have most of the script finished at the start of September, but we need to film it, edit it, and I also need to make a workbook to go with it. There's quite a bit to do, but I'm here with my boyfriend Dan, who is also my video editor and helps a lot with the business, so fortunately I won't be doing it all on my own. We're staying near the seaside town of Tenby in Wales, and we're really lucky because the weather is so nice and there's a proper sandy beach, so it feels like we're on holiday when we step out the door. The challenge in a place like this, I find, is balancing, exploring and enjoying the nice weather with actually getting some work done. So it's week 1 and I'm keen to get started on my to-do list. I need to get moving on the next YouTube video because by the time we arrive at our Airbnb and get settled, it's actually already a few days into September and I have a video to publish on Sunday. You would think that I'd be able to get ahead on videos, but we pretty much always make the video the same week that it's due to be published, but we've been making mostly simpler videos lately just to keep things feeling sustainable. Hello, I'm Mimi. My Instagram community just reached 150,000 followers, and although I like my art style... Once I've written a script and done any filming that we need to do, I can let Dan handle the rest of the editing until it's time for me to review the video and make a thumbnail, so in the meantime I can make progress on some other work. I have lots of Patreon benefits to make, but I spread them out fairly evenly throughout the month. I aim to post every 3 days or so because there are about 11 posts each month for my highest tier. So throughout the month I post a recap of the previous month, 2 phone wallpapers, 3 posts for my illustration club, a little snapshot of my drawing process, a newsletter, a poll about what I should draw next, a tutorial article or step-by-step drawing guide, a digital print, and a drawing walkthrough video or video tutorial. So there are quite a few things to make, but sometimes I suddenly get loads of motivation to make a new and totally unnecessary project while I'm in the middle of doing other things, so I decide that I should make a new brush stamp set of leaves because I'll be drawing lots of leaves this month as autumn approaches. Someone more logical or organized than me might say that it doesn't make sense to spend my time on a project like this when I have lots of other more time-sensitive things to work on, but I learned a long time ago that it's usually more efficient to just follow what I'm excited about. Otherwise, I'll try and push through on the other tasks, but be distracted by my new ideas, so I might as well just work on what I'm excited about and come back to the other tasks afterwards, as long as everything still gets done on time in the end. So I make lots and lots of leaf shapes to start making them into a set for Photoshop and Procreate, but it'll take me a little while to make the whole set, so I'll come back to it throughout the month and finish it another day. I think it's time to get outside because I do a lot of sitting down hunched over my laptop for work, so I try to balance that with some movement by getting outside for a walk or for a jog, not necessarily every day, but definitely more often than not. I'm not really much of a runner, whereas Dan definitely is, but it's more fun when there's Welsh coastline to explore, and it is really so beautiful here. Most days though, I prefer to go for a walk, especially when we have this lovely big beach on our doorstep. Getting outside is so important for my creativity and my mental health. Whenever I feel overwhelmed or anxious about my work, or if I'm just not feeling creatively inspired, going for a walk is pretty much guaranteed to make me feel better.
Girls!
It gives my brain space to think without being distracted and overstimulated by the internet, and there's something about the action of walking that makes me feel like I'm making progress even if I'm not going anywhere in particular. So getting out for a walk is really important for me to feel more balanced, and if I didn't prioritize that self-care, then I know that my business would start to suffer for it.
Ta-da!
It's a new day and I'm going to take myself on an excursion into town because I mostly work from home, but sometimes I like to start my day as if I had a job to commute to and actually go out somewhere, and it's just good for me to change up my environment here and there. I was going to sit at a cafe, but it's a nice day, so I got myself something from the bakery and found a shady spot to work on the new script for my class. The class will end up being about 20 pages for a 45-minute class, and unfortunately I already wrote most of it in August, but there are a couple of sections that I need to finish. Plus, I need to read through what I've already done and make sure that it'll make sense for people. I keep working on this script over the weekend as well because I need it to be finished within a few days so that we can start filming it next week. To be honest, I don't pay too much attention to weekends most of the time and often work a bit on Saturdays and Sundays. I prefer to just take a day off when I feel like I need it and work when I feel motivated to, even if it's on a weekend. Sometimes I don't take a full day off for 2 weeks, but instead work lots of much shorter days. Sometimes I have 4 days off in a row, or sometimes I work early in the morning right through to late in the evening. I did try sticking to time boundaries and working set hours for a while, but I discovered quite a long time ago that I feel best when I follow my energy levels and my excitement for things. I love what I do for work, so more often than not I am excited to work and I feel productive, but sometimes I'm worn out and would rather go out exploring or watch TV, so I naturally find my own balance. As long as over the course of the week I make some kind of progress with my work and also look after myself, then I'm happy. If it's leaning heavily one way or the other, I know it'll swing back the other way before too long, and I try not to beat myself up about it either way. So then I make some more progress on my leaf brush stamps, I make some more progress on my Patreon benefits, and we publish another YouTube video. I'm now trying to create the workbook that I want to go alongside my class that students can download and fill out, so it's sort of an extension of the script but in document form with areas to be filled out. I need this workbook finished before we start filming because I need to film myself completing the workbook as an example, and I'm going to be reading from a script on a teleprompter for this one, so I need to have both the script and the workbook fully completed before we film anything. I think it's finally ready to go, so we can spend most of the week putting together all the pieces and getting this class filmed and edited. It's my first time talking directly to camera, but Dan has set us up with a makeshift teleprompter using an ironing board as a tripod and a piece of glass on my laptop stand to reflect the words so I can read them. You don't always need lots of fancy equipment beyond a camera and laptop, especially since we've been traveling, we just kind of use whatever is in the house. I thought it would take longer to record everything, but actually we get everything filmed for the workbook and the piece to camera in less than about a day and a half, so I'm really happy with that. While Dan edits the video class, I want to work on some more Patreon benefits, especially the video for the month. This month I've screen recorded my process of an illustration and I'll write a script explaining the process as I go. Some areas are harder to shade than others, like with the little feet here, At the moment, the value is really similar to the scarf behind it, so I either need to make the feet a darker value or a lighter value for them to stand out. Or I can change the value of the scarf, and since I want to add some more texture to that anyway, it might help solve my problem. I also really want to draw something just for fun that's a little more detailed than normal, so I asked my patrons to vote for what they thought I should draw, and they chose a cozy home inside a pumpkin, so that's exactly what I'm making. I like just sitting and drawing things like this sometimes that aren't really for anything in particular. It's just fun to draw something cute but challenging because it's fulfilling creatively and helps me develop as an artist. Toward the end of the month, it definitely feels like autumn has officially arrived and we get some really windy weather and much colder days than when we first arrived. It's windy today. It's nice to see the changing of the seasons and to watch the leaves change colours and start to drop, and it definitely puts me in the mood to draw more autumn things. Dan finishes editing the Skillshare class for us and we make it live, which is really exciting and just another valuable product to add to my business that we have forever now, and hopefully it will really help a lot of beginner artists. Cool. So that you're set up for success from the beginning. I also have a new picture book published in the last week of September, which is really lovely to see in person. I actually finished illustrating it about 9 months ago, but it's finally here in the real world. It's 96 pages, so it was a really big project that I spent like half of last year working on, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I finished a month with some illustrating just for fun, with some mindless TV on in the background to relax and just enjoy the process of drawing something cute.
I can picture you sitting on the couch laughing at everybody with us. Sweet.
So that's another month done, and I had such a nice time being in South Wales for a few weeks. It was the perfect place to be able to work from, watch the changing of the seasons, and explore the coastline with Dan in my time off. I'm really pleased that we got the video class made, but equally happy to have finished all of the regular content for the month because it's a really important part of my business. The entire long-term strategy of my business is that I wanted to build a few pillars of income that I slowly grow by adding value to them every month, and over time I should earn more from those pillars. In theory, I would be able to do the same amount of work in the third year of running each pillar as I was in the first year, except earning a lot more for doing around the same amount of work each month. For example, I have this YouTube channel. It takes about the same amount of time and effort to make a video now as it did 2 years ago, but I earn a lot more from making a video now than I did back then because I have a larger audience, so I typically get more views, and because I get more views, I earn more from AdSense and sponsorships. I've been growing income streams that shouldn't require more work from me in the future, but in theory will earn more as they grow. It's quite a slow, long-term strategy, but it's sustainable for me, and I'm building this business to support a lifestyle that I want to live, so sustainability is key. So how much did I actually work over the month? I didn't exactly track my hours, and I obviously didn't film everything that I worked on, but if I estimate how long each of the tasks took me, I figured that I worked on average about 30 to 35 hours per week, so just short of a full-time job. It was actually one of my goals to work about 4 days a week so that I could have some work-life balance, and at the moment it definitely feels like I'm working a really comfortable amount. If you watched my last video, then you'll know that on average over the last 3 months my business has brought in about 12,000 Australian dollars per month. A lot of that obviously goes to Dan for his time and towards other business expenses, plus I pay taxes, but I end up with somewhere around half of that amount to take home. I'll let you decide whether that's a decent hourly rate. We all have different living costs and salary expectations, but at the moment I'm really pleased with where I'm at and proud of how far I've come. If you'd like some additional help on your creative journey, then consider joining my community over on Patreon. You can cancel anytime and you get instant access to my drawing tutorials, monthly illustration club, and digital art videos that I share each and every month. Plus, I'll be getting ready to host my advent calendar there in December with a brand new set of festive goodies, which I'm really excited about, and I can't wait to see you there. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then I'd love it if you could give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already for more art videos. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!